Just joining us is Ministerial Chat with the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, His Excellency Ezenwo Wike. We've just done 1 hour now. We're going coasting home on the last segment. Largely it will be politics. But before we get there, there were some issues that you were alluding to. I would like you to properly trash them out. Is it true that you allocated plots, 40,000 plots of land, Abuja land?
200,000.
200,000? Not 40,000 again? of plots to yourself, your sons, and your cronies? Sorry, sir. Let me just say.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. The second one, still related to land, from 11,000 hectares to 4,000 meters, University of Abuja land. How just is that? And is it actually right to accuse an institution like that of land grabbing and all of that? We'd like you to clarify
What do you
this.
mean by this? Now, let me tell you, see, sometimes I want to call that since you don't reply. There are certain stories you come and tell me. And I'll tell you, thank you, will you get up from my office? First of all, calculate the time, my time, and that's okay. Where we have 2,000 hectares of land. Ordinary mathematics just tells you that. And then for the value of $3.something billion US, in essence, you're talking about almost 4-5 trillion naira. And then you want me to stay to listen to you. These are the kind of things I tell people. There are stories you come and tell me, okay, he gave his son 4,000 square meters of land. Okay, maybe it's correct. For example, I can say, okay, let me listen to it. But all this balderdash, rubbish, and I know where it's coming from.
Where?
I know it's from Adamawa State. I'm aware. You see, what you cannot do to anybody, it doesn't make sense. In any case, for example, assuming do not consider, you apply to me to allocate land to you, right? Because you're a citizen of Nigeria. My children are not citizens. They are Ghanaians. Assuming do not consider, doesn't make sense. I'm sure if I look at the envelope, if I look at the file, most of you must have applied for land. So you want me to sit down and allocate to you? Now, if my children apply, they are not entitled to because I'm the minister.
Did you give your children
I have told
any
you.
plot of land at all?
I have told you. Bring the documents.
You said the allegation is coming from Adamawa. Adamawa is big.
Please, I have
Is
told
it from your friend, the governor?
I have told you that. Forget about that. My friend. You know, man. So the point I'm making that, you see, what you call empirical evidence. Empirical evidence. I sit here, I sign so many things. I see so many people's passports, former ministers, governors, and this. National Assembly members. It was alleged that my agency was the one who signed. Now, let me tell you. When they gave ministers land, I told my agency, sign, give it to me. When I go to FEC, I hand it over to them, right? Because my agency signed for hospital, it becomes my land. National Assembly members, that's okay, sign for them. I will take it. When I see the speaker, I give it to, for example. It becomes my land. What kind of thinking? What kind of characters are this?
We heard the president has directed that this issue be investigated. Have you been invited by any committee set up by the president?
Those who say president directed, let them wait now for the committee to invite me. You think the president has nothing to do, has no job to do? You think that, you, assuming somebody tells you that, will you listen to it?
But
will you listen to it, know fully well that Matama and Asoko cannot? So if you come and tell me that, why would I even have time to even say, okay, let me investigate it? Why would I do that?
40,000 plus.
You know it's got 40,000 plus. Calculate it. Please, let us focus on what.
But in your initial reaction, you spoke about land for agriculture purposes. Would you like to clarify that
Do what?
in your initial reaction? Whether you personally or on your behalf, you were giving explanation about land for agricultural purposes somewhere in Buari or so.
That's not what they said. They never said so. What my friend said, look, Jack was farmed, was given land in Buari. How does that become my son? That's the point I'm making. People apply for land for agriculture. People apply for land for agriculture. And what we have always said, you must have to tell us when would this come in. Not giving you become a land speculator, which has always been happening in the FCT. Some people will tell you mass housing. For 5 years, nothing has happened. They begin to spread the land and start selling. So these are the kind of things you face every day. And when you even take, you see, when you're trying to correct certain things, you know that people will also fight you back. That we're taking decisions that, look, we have to revoke if you don't do this. People will also make sure that they fight you back. So some of us were not perturbed about that. And with the kind of things we have achieved, people are not comfortable about it. So they will do everything to derail you or to make sure that all that rubbish is or what you have achieved. But we cannot be distracted. Never.
When you talk politics, you don't mince words and you shoot straight. You mentioned Adamawa. Adamawa is a state.
You told me here that you come to politics.
Adamawa, yes, we are very into politics.
Hold on,
University of Abuja.
Hold on, don't mix up. Don't mix up.
Because you accuse Adamawa, that's why I want to know. Adamawa is not a person.
You are taking my time. Tomorrow now, you say we are spending 1 hour. We didn't spend 1 hour. You are the one taking that. You say you will speak politics. Let us wait for politics section to come.
Can we move into politics?
Okay, talking about politics.
We have moved into politics. Who is Adamawa that is behind this issue that you said?
Honorable Minister.
Does that affect Nigeria? Why not talk about what affects
Honorable Minister,
one
talking
before
about
we go
politics.
is-
Yes.
Talking about politics.
Yes.
We have clearly seen that you have reconciled with your political godson. We've seen you at different places, events, and there is obvious peace has obviously returned, to Rivers State. But beyond that, like I said earlier on, tongues are also wagging. What really went down? How were you able to get this reconciliation? Some people say he has traded his mandate away.
Second term.
So many things.
Okay.
Let's hear from you.
Well, let me just tell you this. Those of you who hear where tongues are wagging, I have never had, I don't owe anybody any explanation how peace was achieved. What's important is that peace. Yes. Do you like peace? Yes. So what are you going to benefit from how the peace was achieved?
We need to
No, but
have-
just for clarity.
The most important thing is, do you have peace? Yes.
At what cost?
What cost?
Perhaps you could help discountenance publications that are saying that one of the terms for agreement was he was not going to come for
Was that what
a second.
if that is, did he tell you that? Did he tell you that?
That's why we're seeking
No, you cannot say for I'm not the one going to run election. So if you say that that was the decision, then he should be able to be the one to tell you. What's my business? He has never spoken to you on that. You are the ones who are promoting disunity. Making money for your stations. Inviting people, yeah, but it's true. Inviting people to come to your stations to talk. Now, the well has dried. No more oil. So you are not happy. Everybody, let me tell you, and it's most unfortunate. When I hear people say something you have no facts, you have no evidence. You just speculate, maybe, no.
So what
How do you
can
do that? And let me tell you, it is not in your position. we settled. And we went to him. Mr. President never invited us. Mr. President never called a meeting, you say this, you say this. The bit I can tell you, the governor met with the House of Assembly, the governor met with the National Assembly, privately. The governor met with leaders. And he said, now having settled, can you now go and tell President we have settled? President never one day. And that's what people do that, oh, President did this, President trying to force something on people. You don't even know anything. You just sit down because no more money will come out to give you to appear and arise.
We want to know the terms of this reconciliation. The terms of this reconciliation.
Listen, were you part of the peace? Have you ever one day invited us to come and make peace? So what is their business now?
But we have a
No, but they've
All you have been doing is how you can get somebody from Rivers, go to Arise, insult somebody, invite somebody to go to TVC, talk against this person, invite them to go to News Central, AIT. Now it's no longer available. It's no longer available. And you are not comfortable. And it is my duty to make you not to be comfortable. I'm not going to give you that comfort.
It is the issues that oftentimes...
What are the issues? You know the issues.
There is an emergency rule in Rivers State. So now that peace has come, what are the chances that that emergency rule will come to an end?
When the president comes, you go and ask president. Did I
But
declare?
you have his
Hold on.
ears. You have his
Which
ears.
ear?
So we
Which
are
ear?
hopeful that you give...
Did I declare state of emergency? If I declared, then you can ask me.
When you met with the president
Yes.
and clearly informed him that peace has returned in Rivers State,
Yes.
did you ask him when he's likely going to call off the emergency rule? What was his body language like?
Did I ask him when he would declare state of emergency? I will not ask him when he will. How can something I was not a party to? You want me to go and buy market? I don't know when it's.
But it's your state.
The last time
Listen. Whether it's my state or not, the point we're making that why not be comfortable that peace has come?
the last time you
Why
had
do you
peace,
cry more than the bereaved?
Honorable Minister,
But
Honorable
emergency
Minister,
rule in
the last time you had
democracy.
this kind of resolution, there was like a paper agreement. Something was put into paper. You had agreement with Mr. President.
Was it fulfilled?
It wasn't. So
Why not the ones who saw that paper and started, instead of you to make peace, you started saying, oh, this is one-sided. Now, speculate. You won't see any paper, speculate. I have allowed you to continue to speculate. It's not my business. All I know, peace has come.
But
If you are not satisfied with that peace, well, there's nothing we can do. But what is important, peace has returned. Whatever thing anybody says is not my business.
Is it true that you have resolved that Fubara will not go for second term? Did you resolve that?
I said, that is not part of your problem. It is not part of your problem. If you want to, go and ask Mora. I mean, when I hear certain things people will talk, yeah, okay. From what I read, you are saying, that he said, I will appoint
Local government chairman.
the national administrators. They won't do election. Come on. Why do people cause crisis?
Sir, but there is a concern that
No,
it
what
is an
the concern?
aberration
No,
in
the
a
point I'm making,
democracy.
the concern is that it makes it more intelligent when you come out to the public. How does anybody listen and say one person will appoint local government chairman? How? No, how do you say that? Is it by appointment? No election will be done. So all you do is sit in your house and sit in the last camp here. Abu Odua, I've appointed you. Agutoro, you have been appointed. Degema, you have been appointed. How can we talk? How can we reason this way? We cannot, and assuming somebody comes to tell you that, would you not say, hey man, come on. If you tell me, look, it's like he will preside over his team. Maybe if we're in the same party, for example, we want to sponsor people to run an election. Will I have a role to play? It's understandable. That is understandable. But for you to say he will appoint chairman of the local government, I mean, I mean, I don't know who does that. Even president cannot sit in his office and yes, people recommend to him in states. So is it not correct? President cannot know everybody in the 36 states. That's not possible. That's even appointment too. Not the one of election. How do you do that? It's like president would appoint all the governors of 36 states. How can you be anybody sit down and even say that is part of what was agreed? How can anybody say that?
Away from what was agreed, can I just ask you that the peace that we're going to have, or that we have in Rivers State now, is it peace for all times? All sins are forgiven.
What is your prayer?
Isn't that what we have been preaching here all along?
We want peace
That is
of
our
all time.
prayer.
Isn't that
That
what we
is
have
the
been
prayer.
That is your prayer. Let it be so. Why are you going to ask me again? I said there's peace. You're not asking me, is it for peace for all time or for short time?
All sins forgiven.
Whatever you pray for us, that's what we have.
So I guess the reason we're pressing a bit is because, first off, you're from Rivers State, and the fact that there is an emergency rule is a continued aberration from what democracy should be. So we would think that, maybe you are a bit concerned.
Provided under the Constitution.
Yes, but it is still in a democracy.
No, yes, but that is allowed. Because when you have a crisis like this, and that's why it calls for it. Do you want a crisis situation? Okay, take for example, the Supreme Court said, if there's no election for local government, there should not be money. Correct? Yeah. Right. Is it not correct?
Yes.
Now, if you go back now, there's no local government election, and money is not given to the local government, how would the workers be paid? Do you know, but for the emergency situation, the crisis that we have seen now, the crisis you would have seen in local government, where workers will not be paid. The crisis you would have seen in the state, where civil servants will not be paid because they have no budget. And that's why it calls for the, look, do this pending when all situations. So if you go back now, no local government election, how do they get funds? How did they get funds to run? Well, just only being just on one track. We're not looking at a holistic picture. The only thing that saved our state is the emergency rule that have kept the Supreme Court judgment not to be implemented. If you don't do everything now, and you put it, you do it in the state of emergency, how does money come? How does the money come? Answer me. 5 of you, answer me. Answer me, how does it come?
Are you optimistic now? Like my colleague did say earlier, you've had these reconciliations, so to speak, in the past. Do you have that optimism this time that is going to work?
Why would I be pessimistic? Why would I be pessimistic? When you asked before, did I not tell you that we must do something with truth? You have interviewed us severally, and I said, with truth, there will be peace. Did I tell you there was peace then? Did I tell you? Now, have I told you there's peace? So, the difference is clear now. Do you believe there will be no peace?
Peace. As another state.
No. Do you believe there will be no peace?
We believe there will be peace. If you...
I'm surprised.
Depending on you.
Depending on me.
Because as an elder...
What is your role to make us have peace? By carrying fake news?
That's what we're asking.
Maybe if you help us with the terms of this...
We're seeking clarification.
We have made peace.
Simple.
That's enough for...
Even with the people that supported sin.
Can we go
all
on
the
to
former
the
governors that supported sin is for
No.
supporters.
See, there's one thing you must understand in life. The decisions you take, some people may not be happy. There are people who will always benefit when there's crisis.
Okay.
There are people who say, look, who made money, let me go to television and abuse wicked. they make money. Now such money is no longer available. So how would they be happy? There are those who take live television, non-assembly members, go on live television 3 and say how illegal, and even though when they're not from the state, now it's no longer available. Would they be happy? Do you know what's called oil well? Where your oil is flowing. Now the oil has dried. You would naturally not be happy. So such people, you don't bother about it. But what's important, the key players have they accepted peace? Yes.
All right. Let's make this a little bit national now.
Yes.
Let's talk about national politics.
Okay.
The PDP, more or less 2 factions now. During this week, one faction attempted to have a meeting, another faction attempted to have a meeting. They were disrupted. Along the line, your name kept coming up, that you were the one that instigated security men to seal off the venue of the meeting of the other side.
I don't know how you created the faction. Which are the factions? I mean, when you say there are factions, you must know the factions. Which are the factions?
There's a faction. The faction that you supported, of course, is a faction that has Senator Samayahu as national secretary. The other faction has another person as secretary.
Who's that? No, tell us now.
There's an acting secretary that was appointed by the
you
governors forum of the PDP.
You know, you people,
By the governors forum of the PDP.
Sometimes when I say
Koshedo or something like that.
I'm sorry to use that word. This democracy will survive with the role you play. This democracy will survive with the role you play. And you must play that role in sincerity and in knowing that you are going to investigate this thing, you can stand by it. There are no 2 meetings there. I was written a letter by the national chairman and secretary to provide security that they want to hold their expanded caucus meeting. They held their meeting there. All the governors were there. Where is one that he said they did not allow people to hold it? The party wrote a letter.
The meeting was supposed to hold in Wadata House.
It was held in Wadata House.
So what about the meeting that held in, what's the name of the?
Bauchi.
Yeah, the
The
other.
meeting, you see, that's why I have to go and investigate. Governors first of all met in the governor's lodge, finished the meeting, and then now want to hold the expanded caucus at the Wadata House.
Honorable Minister, the Board of Trustees BOT meeting was to take place at Wadata Plaza by 10 a.m. Most of the BOT members got to Wadata Plaza and the place was sealed.
No, that's not correct.
They were locked out.
No, that's not correct. First of all, you cannot hold a meeting without the parties knowing that you want to hold a BOT meeting. They have already scheduled a meeting to be held at Wadata. And then wrote a letter that they need security to be there for the expanded or whatever next meeting. So when you come for such a meeting, and that's not the meeting you are coming for, the police will tell you, no, this is not the meeting that's taking place. What is taking place here, from what we have, is expanded caucus and make a meeting. And that's what they did. That is the problem we're talking about, procedure. As written by the national chairman and secretary, requesting for this. And you are saying that I went and disrupted it. I mean, it's not fair.
Let's look at...
It's not fair.
But one faction of DPDP now has headed for the ADC.
Which faction?
Atiku
There's
faction?
Look,
Former Vice President Atiku has led a faction of the PDP to ADC.
Which faction?
Let's talk about a coalition that is on now. There's a coalition, and the move is to take on 2027. I put up a fight.
What is the problem of the coalition? What did they say? Why are they doing coalition?
they want to take out this current administration and come in, and you... Sorry?
Because
they feel that they are not doing enough.
Fine. Let me just show me. I will take them one by one. Now let me ask you. I heard the Dubai say to rescue Nigeria. Nigerians are angry. The man was Senate president for how many times?
8 years.
3.
2 times, 8 years. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Nigerians were happy. Nigerians were happy when he was Senate president for 8 years. And there was no single project to Otubo. Not one. He was flying with a helicopter to go to Otubo. Nigerians were not angry then. Nigerians are only angry now. It's not correct. When Refuting was minister for 8 years, Nigerians were not angry. When Nigeria became indebted, Chinese loan, Nigerians were happy. It's now Nigerians are angry. You went and made Nigeria to be so much indebted with loans. That time Nigerians were happy. You see, it's unfortunate for we. You use Nigerians and play politics up and down. When you are angry with me, Nigerians are not happy. The only time Nigerians are happy is when you are in power. The moment you are no longer in power, Nigerians are angry. You quarrel with your boss, Nigerians are angry. You didn't get anything from the tribune, Nigerians are angry. I saw a Siraki, a Seriki or what?
Siraki.
What happened to Air Nigeria? Nigerians are happy.
At the Serika.
You said it yourself that you play politics with Nigerians.
So what I'm saying, they are saying Nigerians are angry. They want to rescue Nigeria. So I'm asking this simple question. What happened to the Air Nigeria? The Nigerians were happy then. I'm coming. I will take them one by one. When I met you, when we took heavy loan from China, things were well with Nigeria. Nigerians were not angry. Right? When they went to APC in 2015 and took over the reins of power in 2023, Nigerians are happy.
Sir, but every opposition
Who
that
inherited,
comes...
excuse me, was it under Tinubu's government that banditry came? Was it under his government that banditry came? Yeah. It was not under his government. What is he doing? To solving the problem he met. If you, I read what former Attorney General Malabi said, that not, it's so embarrassing. He was Attorney General. You know what happened in this country? Why are people thinking that Nigerians have become so foolish? That you use Nigerians all the time. Nigerians are angry. What is Nigerians angry? That you did not make it. This is a man who has just come for 2 years. You were Senate president for 8 years. Tamboy, you were speaker for 4 years. What did you do to make Nigerians not to be angry? You were a governor in Sokoto State. Sokoto people were happy and you refused to elect the person you brought. What kind of politics are we playing?
And it's even about the likes of Rahul Faregbeshola that were very close to the Mr. President.
That's what I'm trying to say. When you quarrel with me, it's not good to resolve your problem with me. You say Nigerians are angry. When you are good with him, you never knew that Nigerians were angry.
Honorable Minister.
Look at those from River State. These are people whom I have defeated from 2015 to 2023. Nigerians are angry because I defeated him. Nigerians are angry. When you want to go to power, tell us if there are people who have not been in power in this country who are coming with such an idea. I can listen to them. But not people who were the ones at the head of affairs of this country for how many years? Look at where this country, if this president did not take certain decisions he has taken, which may be very challenging, you would have known where we would have been by now. A president came and said it's a scam, took that bold step. We will not allow that. States are getting more money. Nigerians are angry that states are getting more money. Nigerians are angry. Nigerians are angry that we are providing infrastructure in Abuja. Nigerians are angry. I cannot say that there are no challenges. There are challenges. But for Christ's sake, stop using Nigerians. You couldn't have been at the head of affairs. I challenge anybody. Today, I challenge anybody. When you were there, what contribution did you make? History will hold you responsible. You were in social position. What was the contribution to making sure that where we are today, we are not there?
Yes,
But I'm curious, the reason...
Sir, you see, these are common things politicians will always tell us because they want power. There's no doubt about it. But the fact of the matter is that in 2015, when the APC was to be consummated,
Yeah.
now people came with all this. Nigerians were angry at that time.
Yeah.
Now, according to them, Nigerians are still angry. But my worry is, must we continue to recycle the, old leaders coming again? What is the position of what role do we have to play as youth?
It's your business, you the voters.
Just
No, it is you the voters.
no.
It's you the voters. Let me tell you something. I want to tell people. I'm the FCT minister today, it's not true. Right?
Yeah.
If I'm supporting a party to win the election, I should be able to stand and say, this is why you should support. See what we have done. See what we are doing. See what we have done. Challenge whether this is correct or not. Is it not true? You are the one to say yes. I'm coming now. Okay. You are the one to say yes. I've seen what you said. I'm going to vote for that. But you, the voter, you don't do that. You vote on ethnicity. You vote on religion. And that's why, so look at what somebody, a former minister, attorney general, will say. You are not pushing it to not. We are talking about something of a country. You are saying not. It's the kind of politics that will play. Thinking that will give you favor. But you forgot that you were the attorney general of the federation for 8 good years. From 2015 to 2023. What would you say about security situation then when you were attorney general? What would you say about the level of corruption then when you were attorney general? What would you say? Nigerians are angry.
But are you worried?
Are you worried? Rhetoric.
No,
it's the same rhetoric.
With the caliber of, persons in that part, are you worried?
No, it does not exist. No, let me tell you. David Mark, the daughter, in his federal constituency, won under APC. David Mark lost as a PDP leader. His daughter won under APC to go to Federal House of Rep. He is the leader of the PDP in that area. It's correct.
So I was going to...
I'm coming.
Okay.
I'm coming. Number one was the governor. He was the governor. 2023. PDP lost. What does it show? What does it show? The spokesperson, my friend Bolaji, I had him last night talking about Nigeria is angry. Every time Nigeria is angry, he was a minister under Jonathan.
Education.
Minister of Sports.
Sports.
He left and joined his leaders, Saki, to go to APC. Is correct? They left APC. He lost election 2023 for Senate in Kwara. He lost. Now he has moved the other agency simply because he has fallen out with Saraki. Now Nigerians are angry. So the point we're making, if I tell you, it's not that we give, okay, when you say people like Amici, he was this. Of what would he do in Rivers? He was governor, 2015. I defeated him there. He became a super minister, 2019. I defeated him. 2023, he supported Atiku. We defeated him. So he will talk to Rivers people about how angry they are. Has he asked how angry Rivers people are with him? Has he asked? So if you say, well, I'm worried, I'm not. Opposition has even decimated themselves.
Exactly.
Let me tell you why I say so.
Yes.
Now, you are talking about coalition. What's the coalition? The only party today that if they put themselves well, that can still challenge this government, assuming, is PDP.
You frustrated most of them out.
It's PDP. Because, see, let me tell you, they wanted to hijack the party. We told them no. The man wanted to be chairman of PDP. We said no. We said no. That was the issue of the North Central. When they were saying that the party chairman should come back to North Central, we stood our ground and said no. We are going to take chairman of coalition. You see, let me see.
You continue to remain
whom
in
Nigerians listen to. Let me see whom Nigerians will listen to. Is it by men? Okay, look at it. I was here, sometimes you don't even need to call their names. This boy concerned towards them. He says the journalist was his name. It's big. He said, okay, I don't really remember all these names.
He was your friend.
He has never been my friend.
Really?
There are things I won't tell you. This is somebody who said he ran for president. Not, you didn't get one vote. So that is the coalition now you tell me when you see him there.
Yeah.
I mean, will I people who appear on television, on is it sunrise? What do you call sunrise? What do you call it? That's
Arise.
What do you call it? Or is it kakaki or what? No. They appear
Body
and
show.
you give them, oh, what do you have to show?
Body
Okay,
show.
take them one by one.
Honorable.
Then, caliber does not mean because I was a governor. I was a minister. I can talk, even if I live as a minister today, I can talk authoritatively. When I was minister of FCT, this was what I did. Let any Nigerians challenge me. Let any of them say, when I was Attorney General, when I was Minister of Aviation, when I was Minister of Transport, see what I did.
Okay,
You are a
question I want
chieftain
to
of the
ask is
People's
really-
Democratic Party.
Yes.
Do you feel comfortable with the mass exodus from your party, the PDP?
Yes.
Governors elected on the platform of the party are leaving in mass. Now, as this, as that, are all leaving, forming a coalition. Do you feel comfortable with this?
Coalition. There's no coalition. Look at, for example, what's coalition? If everybody did not have, if the president did not drop him, would have been a coalition on his part. So, I have personal thing with you. It becomes that interest of Nigerians. Nigerians don't everybody. For how long can you continue to deceive Nigerians? For how long do you think Nigerians are daft? That you wake up in the morning, you just left office now, it's now you remember that Nigerians are angry. You were office there for 8 years, you remember you Nigerians are angry? Come on, who is deceiving who? And who would want to give voice or listen or give ear to this kind of people. Who? The issue of somewhere crossing or leaving party. Politics is interest. I don't know whoever is leaving what he has in mind or for the interest of his people. But what I tell you the problem of PDP, and we have realized it today. When people talk about it, say, look, do the right thing. If you do the right thing, we'll not be where we are. There's nothing Atiku and Co didn't do to take over the national chairmanship of PDP. There's nothing they didn't do. I was stood firm. I was saying no, it will not happen. The issue of secretary came. The life wire of the party is the chairman and secretary. When they did not get any, then the issue of coalition started. The issue of coalition started. That was what they did. They wanted to hijack the structural party. We said no, you cannot. You cannot. So, he's from Adamawa. Why didn't his governor join him? He's from Adamawa. Why did his governor join him? Why didn't Bala join him? Because these governors said, hey, we can't continue to allow you to be doing this your old game. We will not allow you. So the people who call my name wicked. Am I the one who elected Sam Daddy in National Convention? Am I the one? He was elected in National Convention. Somebody went to court, said that he had gone to run for governorship election, and that he ought to, the word ought to resign, and that he did not resign. Therefore, he should be national secretary. He went to court. He won. The man went to gone down to Supreme Court. He won. And he said, no, they have a right to do it. No, you cannot remove him. It's only national convention. Wait, convention, that will be expired December 8th. Why are you in a hurry to scatter your party? They now went to INEC, which was very embarrassing. To go and ask INEC to organize the true position. How can you do that? Anyway, you have gone. And I hear that INEC told them, go and obey Supreme Court judgment. You saw Sheima Kende and Naviti. All of them are there. So the issue of function or no function, it does not arise. Now, when these people now saw that they cannot take over the party, the issue of coalition came. And then the message you said to Nigerians, because Nigerians are angry. Nigerians have been angry with them. Check it. Atiku was vice president for 8 years. He left in 2006 to AC. He came back to PDP. He left for APC. He left APC and came to PDP. Now he has left to go to coalition ADC. Let me use one look at it. They born you, born every time, live. How can I elder statesman? What are you going to tell your children?
To what extent
I
does all of
1999. See, I told you I was going to leave PDP. I'll fight it there. Did I not tell you that? Have I left? Have I not fought it? Is someone here who know the secretary? I would have left now. Because they say they don't want to. If you cannot fight, they will just want where they will be in charge. And now they are not in charge. They say, wicked. There's no television you open any day.
Honorable Minister, you
Is that why
you may not have left
has
the
this
PDP.
coalition talk, has it weakened the resolve to rebuild the PDP? Because I still believe that you are a member of the
What I've
PDP.
seen, and I spoke with their leadership. I said, look, this gives you the opportunity. The Buccaneers have left.
Buccaneers.
Yes, the vampires have left. Who never named where from. Look, take all the areas that we lost. I saw Chiroma on television. Was it the first day?
2 days ago.
Yes, talking about this one man taking part. Asked us since 1999, have we won Yobe? Since 1999, have we won Yobe? No. So what is that you are telling me? What is that? That you are telling me? PDP has been sustained by the South-South. By the South-South. Now,
Southeast.
yes, South-South mainly.
Okay.
Mainly, the Southeast. Now, because of the kind of politics this leader, ask Emeka Yoda, I saw him there. What happened? Because somebody was not removed as secretary. He now left. So that's why the Nigerians are angry. This is your own private, personal thing that you could not contend with. It's a power struggle that somebody has at maneuver you. You go and say, Nigerians are angry. Say that you have been defeated in that place. Don't push it to Nigerians. Let's take the issue of Nigeria very serious. Let us know the problem and focus on that and tackle the challenges.
With the combination of Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi in the same coalition, don't you think it's a big threat to APC?
Okay, just tell me. When you say with Atiku, with Peter Obi, what do you mean by that? Well, what about with me not being there? I mean, so you think they're stronger than me?
Looking at the results, they put the last presidential.
The point I'm saying, why not you say we cannot be there? Means that coalition has failed.
Probably they feel you are not really with them. That's why they are not.
They're not what?
Really with them. Is your heart really with the PDP?
What do you mean by heart? The coalition is the PDP.
No,
but the
let me
PDP
reframe that question. Honorable Minister, let me reframe that question and just ask, like, a lot of people are curious, how are you able to work for the progress of the PDP while being actively in an administration that is, the PDP is acting as an opposition?
Okay, answer it this way. Why was I able in PDP? Did PDP governor, National Assembly, had an assembly? And they supported the APC president. No answer.
The question is for you.
That's why they should be careful with people like us. It's people like us that people need.
So in event that the PDP eventually produces a presidential flag bearer for 2027, even though you said this a number of times, where will you stand? For the president or for your party?
Did I stand for my party, the last one? Why are you saying that? They are not saying I will not support that. What's that about the party?
So if the party produces a southern presidential candidate,
to the bridge and I will cross it until they produce. So why are you but that's something my book will say. You've not caught animal. You say women don't eat it. Catch the animal first. Before we know whether women will eat or not. But let's get to the bridge. They will know how to cross at the bridge.
I want to go back to what you said earlier
Yes.
about Nigerians being angry, and I'm thinking that this has been the rhetoric of opposition and when the power is in. So they use it to come in. And at some point, the APC was also not totally happy with the administration that was in power. So if you look at the rhetoric that you're putting out now, that people are angry, it's the same thing that we used before. And somehow, the APC was able to meander their way and come in.
Now, what I'm asking, it's their duty to sound out to the public. Why would they allow ourselves? If this is the same rhetoric that you have been saying, what is your duty? Your duty is to educate Nigerians. I have said here, if I've seen people who have not been in power, who are supposed to make this angry Nigerians not to be angry, and they are saying that Nigerians are angry, the likelihood that you may listen to them. But how can you listen to somebody who has been in power, who has refused to make these Nigerians angry to be happy? It's not the one coming to say Nigerians are angry. If today I'm no longer in office, and then you hear me say Nigerians are angry, you should ask me, Nigerians are angry. When you were in office, what happened? Do you understand the point I'm making? You cannot come here and tell me Nigerians are angry. When you were in office, what did you do to change this anger of Nigerians to be happy? You did not do it. That's the point. So we want to educate Nigerians, tell them to be careful about this group of persons. They are not talking about anger of Nigerians. They are talking that they are angry that they have left power. That is only the anger. So the only slogan they can say is to sell to Nigerians, Nigerians are angry. And you have the opportunity, knowing that that's the same rhetoric, to tell Nigerians, listen, be careful. For how long can we continue to be deceived? Yes, I was deceived yesterday. Yes, I'm deceived today. But will I continue to be deceived till tomorrow? No. Look at the positions they have all held. Chairman of boards, governorship, governors, ministers, this. How did they change the conditions of Nigerians? Ask them that question. Ask them before you say, the coalition you are doing, coalition to do what? Coalition to take over power that you were never before. You are doing coalition to take over power that you were never before. That things were better when you were there, when you were Speaker of House of Reps, when you were Senate President, when you were Minister of Aviation, when you were Attorney General, when you were Minister of Transportation. Tell us.
All right. Thank you, Honorable Minister. I think we have exhausted the issues of politics. Let's just do a quick mop-up on FCT, and then we'll call it a day. First, you mentioned one issue. I'd like you to give a clarification on that. The judges' quarters. When the project was flagged off, I thought it was supposed to have a terminal date. I mean, was supposed to form part of the project to become.
No, how could you have
so how far with that? When
we were working, believing that by September 8th, because the last time I went there, they've gone far, plastered. The one I can be quite sure is the program division.
Okay.
That's only one building, but it has about 40 duplexes. So it is not quite easy, but the roof, they are plastered. So when they are working day and night to see that they meet up to the period they gave. If you remember, it was flagged down last year, September. So it's not even up to 1 year. Tell me which project in this country. And these are the things we talk about. Okay. Tell me projects in this country that we flag off road November last year. Within 6-7 months, it's done. Tell me under any of them, that can say one project.
Okay. The other one has to do with the bus terminals. They've been commissioned.
Yes.
How soon will Abuja residents begin to feel the impact of those terminals?
I think they're doing the legal work now with those who have the company they've chosen to run it. I think they are tying up the legal documentation. Because it's not going to be run by the FCT. You have to give that to private people. If not, it will die next 2 weeks.
And then lastly, what is the commitment? I asked the question much earlier about sewage and refuse control.
If you tell me what problem is sewage in the Southland area, I agree. And that is reason for it because of the procurement process. Part of the problem we have is procurement process. You see, no matter how beautiful you have an idea to do, if you don't follow the rules, tomorrow you also find yourself in problem. But if you are saying in the city here, there's a lot of improvement. I'm not saying, and hear me well, that you have totally solved the issue of the environmental sanitation. No. And that is one of the major problems all over the world in terms of cleanness of city. Environmental issue you may not see it as a project. It's one of the heavy projects that government embarks upon that if they tell them what they spend, you may say, what is there to remove refuse? How much will it cost? It's a major project.